Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. We are live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio right here at 5th and State. Also live on YouTube and Facebook. Here in the EDDC footprint, we're adjacent to Gannon University. We're glad to have with us here in studio. I'm pretty excited for this conversation. Dr. Brian Collingwood, he is the Vice President for University Advancement. Brian, good to see you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
Grab that microphone. We're going to pull that nice and close like your Mick Jagger there.
Nice.
We were chatting so much,
right,
it's like, hey, we actually have to do a radio show.
Right.
Well, tell us how you're settling in on this position, because this is you're transitioning in from Nancy Bird, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. So I was fortunate the last year and a half, almost 2 years, working directly with Nancy Bird, who just retired as our vice president, and I was her assistant vice president. So we shared a lot of management responsibility, but most importantly, got to know a lot of the same alum and friends of Gannon. And this is a relationship business, so having Nancy alongside me and really learning from her, I think helped me out. But yeah, the transition has been wonderful. I'm sure listeners have heard this. Gannon's a great community, very supportive. And so it's actually been a little too easy as far as transitioning into the seat. I was expecting for something to drop, but it's a great community that has my back, so that's great.
The other part of the transition is the completion of the Capitol campaign.
That's right.
You need to shout that from the rooftops, because this is an amazing story.
Absolutely. Yeah, our goal was, to raise $100 million over the better part of a decade. And we wanted to make sure that we aligned our campaign conclusion with our centennial year. Well, in order to do that, we had to move up our goal about a half a year to align it with the centennial, which we just finished in 2025. And so our goal was $100 million, but we actually raised over $105 million, which is wonderful. Considering
it's unreal. Yeah.
Considering higher ed as an industry and just the importance of making sure students have what they need to succeed, it was a great feat.
And remind us again, because this was a student-centered Capitol campaign. It's a lot of money, but really it was about student outcomes, wasn't it?
It was. Definitely the big emphasis was on access to a quality education at Gannon. So we had scholarship challenges, we had matching donors, we were able to create dozens of new scholarships to help students out and pursue their academic programs. There were funds that enabled us to expand our student success services and direct funding that way to help students have a great experience when they get to Gannon. And so not only getting students into Gannon, but then making sure they have a quality experience and have a very dynamic learning environment while they're at Gannon. And so that took, that was definitely the emphasis across the campaign. We also had really great accomplishments, like with the Highmark Events Center opening and getting that completely refurbished, redone. It's been the home for our championship caliber teams as of late. We were able to revamp the library some years ago and then continue that momentum in building what's now the IHAC, the Institute for Health and Cyber Knowledge. So we had a lot of capital success as well, but that scholarship piece and that quality experience piece really drove it home.
I got to go back to Highmark for a second here, Highmark Event Center, because it almost gives me chills to think that you cut the ribbon on that event center with the basketball teams all lined up, and the wrestling and the volleyball and so on, right?
Yeah.
Because so many teams use that space, and then don't they go to the national championship and win? Right. That is a historic moment for all of Erie.
Absolutely. And, and we're really thankful and encouraged by the community response to this achievement. We've had people rally behind Gannon and to celebrate with us, right? From the county executive to the mayor to local businesses, Scott Enterprises, all these folks that have come to celebrate with us.
I saw posts from all over the place. It was amazing, including the NCAA themselves, really reveling in the story of the Gannon Knights.
And quite a story too. And it's very fitting that this would happen after achieving the campaign success we did.
Yeah.
I mean, when we saw Coach Pizzoli on national television after he won, and the message he had for everybody across really the world, but definitely the country, just reminding people of the community at Gannon and how it propelled him and the team to success. And his faith came out in a big way. I mean, it was just a great achievement in a lot of ways for Gannon.
Yeah, I there's a lot of things you learn when you go to the university, but one of the things that's distinctive about Gannon is about building people of character. Dr. I, sitting in the same chair that you are sitting in now, talking about that distinctive and that Catholic ethic and training. And I also had both Coach Pizzoli and Coach Wright in these chairs talking about, yes, we want players that can succeed on the court, but we want people that can succeed and be amazing people in life.
That's right. And that's what's most important, right? So, I mean, we shape lives when they decide to go to Gannon University to compete, to be student athletes, but, also our other students that don't participate in athletics. We want to make sure everybody has a core experience that sets them up for a quality life and to be good citizens with a value set that guides them. And I mean, and that has not wavered. I mean, when you think about during our centennial year, we look back on our past and we reminded folks of all the people and things that have shaped what Gannon is today. That has been the thread that runs through it all. Values-based, faith-based education and environment. So that's something we pride ourselves in, and that'll continue. That won't stop.
Again, Gannon in my era was kind of a gritty, I mean, they were building stuff, but not all the time like now, right? I mean, it was just a different experience, but it just makes alums like me so happy to see how nice and polished and the opportunities, for like what's going on with the makerspace at IHAC, the kind of learning that's happening, this mashup of, yes, academics, but practical learning too, right?
That's right. And I'm glad you mentioned, and I know I mentioned the IHAC earlier about our campaign success, but thinking about what's in that IHAC building and the makerspace, that is an environment that allows students from all different majors to come and work together. So imagine a student team that's learning how to do laser cutting together for a project, and we're talking students from the engineering programs, we're talking nursing students, we're talking psychology students. A lot of them are electing to go up there and learn these skills and learn the machines to have transferable skills and to form a better understanding of teamwork in a college environment. If anybody listening has a chance to go up there, the makerspace, there's all kinds of examples of these students' projects and what that staff up there is doing to help local businesses. Because a lot of businesses, rather than hold up their production lines, they're sending stuff over to Gannon to make things, to print stuff, to 3D print things, molds, you name it. And so it's actually turned into a nice partnership opportunity between local business and Gannon.
Again, it sounds like I'm gushing, but we have a lot of to talk about this moment, that we're going into on the Day of Giving. Sure. We covered the IHAC announcement with First Ascent, right?
Yeah.
Again, here you have cancer research using AI with real amazing outcomes, being able to formulate custom pharmaceuticals for that particular patient using AI. And it's happening here at Gannon. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely. And I mean, talk about an example of partnership. I mean, First Ascent Biomedical, they essentially could have picked any city in the country to expand their operation. They saw opportunity in Erie because of the sense of partnership and what was going on with the relationship between Allegheny Health Network St. Vincent, between Gannon, between just everything happening in this space with the EDDC and all the work being done downtown. And they saw it as a great place to come and expand their business. And not only expand their business, but educate people on how to get into the medical technology field and have a spot right on campus where students and all kinds of colleagues and employees can work together to try to diagnose better solutions to treat cancer. And that's going to happen right here at Gannon and right here in downtown Erie.
And, honestly, that project kind of shows that old time grit that Gannon has, because Dr. Iwanenko worked his tail off to build that capital stack to make that happen at IHAC. I mean, you gotta give props where they're due there. It's really amazing what it took to bring that here, and the benefits that are going to be coming to your students as well as to the community and really to mankind. I mean, it's at that level, really.
Right, absolutely.
And again, you were there. You saw all the people celebrating with you on that moment.
That's right.
I mean, it was everybody who really cares about our community were there,
Absolutely.
basically.
Yeah, I mean, we had our elected officials, we had our foundation representatives and leadership. Everybody came out. It was a joyous moment, really.
Yeah. All right, so I kind of did a little bit of a scan here, but I think it was important because this is, when you think about it, it's that kind of show me, what have you done for me lately? Well, we just kind of laid out the land of, oh yeah, Gannon's been busy and they've been accomplishing things. Now it's a chance for the community, whether they're alums or just interested parties, to dive in on Gannon's Day of Giving. And we're going to get to that after the first break here. I'm talking to Dr. Brian Collingwood. He is the VP of University Advancement. Stay with us. It's Talk Erie. Dr. Brian Collingwood is with us from Gannon University. He's the vice president for university advancement here on the Joel Natale Show. And we're talking about the Celebrate Gannon Day of Giving. All right, give us a little bit of history, some background on this particular event.
Absolutely. So it's been a tradition at Gannon to celebrate our students and what's been achieved throughout the academic year. And so that's first and foremost what this day is about. And so in the afternoon, for example, there's an opportunity for students to showcase a lot of their work that they've done through senior capstones, research projects with faculty, some of their experiences outside of the classroom, some of the enriching trips they've gone on to learn about themselves and study other cultures. There's all kinds of things. And so to celebrate Gannon in that way, it seemed fitting to then associate as well an opportunity to give to Gannon, because what it does is it pulls in our alumni and friends' attention to what's happening on campus, seeing the celebration of academic and personal achievement, and then also opening up an opportunity to then, hey, can we support further achievement into next year? And so we started associating the Day of Giving concept with Celebrate Gannon about 8 years ago. This is the eighth celebration this year. And it's kind of a three-pronged approach, I suppose, Joel. So you have, let's celebrate what we've done and what we're going to be doing. Let's participate together and engage in philanthropy, in giving to Gannon, right? So when people consider, the Gannon they remembered as a student, or maybe you're a parent of a child who went to Gannon and that person had a great experience or learned a lot, prepared themselves well for a career. Let's engage in this, participate in a day of giving. And then, let's focus on dollars and dollars we need to get to the next step, right? And so if you think about celebration, participation, and fundraising, it's really a three-pronged effort. Yeah.
It's a pretty, significant goal, $500,000 from 1,500 donors. Those are the minimums that you're shooting for, right?
That's right.
How's that connect with what has been done in the past, like last year?
Yeah.
Because you had a big year last year, right?
We did. I mean, with our centennial celebration, we had a record year in dollars raised. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, Joel, to go backwards. So this year, as the momentum keeps building around a giving day, and this is Gannon's premier giving day, Day of Giving, we want to make sure that we continue to stretch and seek new support. And for those that have been continuing year after year to support us, asking them if they can re-up that support, maybe even stretch a little bit more to help those students, gain access to Gannon, be successful at Gannon. And so, kind of eyes on the prize, we're going to keep building this. We see that it resonates really well with donors. Donors they respond to a giving day, right? And so it's a trend that's kind of going on around higher education as an industry. And organizations like ours that can organize around it effectively, we've seen just a constant uptick, year after year in what we're able to accomplish. So we had a nice, healthy goal last year. Let's stretch it a little bit more this year. Let's get that $500,000 in one day. And going into this week, it's looking good. We still need people to show up, and help us out. But we believe we're going to hit this.
All right, let's talk about some of the areas where you can kind of maybe drop some money into each bucket, if you would.
Yeah, sure.
What are some of the things you'd like to highlight there?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, it's a day of celebration, so. One of the things that this day provides people is an opportunity to direct a gift very precisely towards something within Gannon that they believe in. So, for example, we have an effort to raise money for our career closet. That's a very specific program. It allows somebody to just, go online, go to gannon.edu/Day of Giving. They can find the career closet button, go right there and offer some financial support that helps students get professional clothing to then go out with confidence and interview for positions. Maybe somebody's graduating and they're about to take on that new job and they need a sport coat or something that they just can't afford yet on their own. They can go into that closet free of charge, pick up what they need, and go, right? So
the folks that work around the closet, aren't they giving soft skills on how you approach an interview, or I mean, again, you don't show up in your pajamas.
That's right. Yeah, it's
Even your good ones.
right, even your best, right?
Even your best
Yeah.
pajamas.
No, I mean, it's so Joel, it's strategic.
Yes.
You put a career closet right next to all the career advisors, right?
Right.
And so when a student comes in because they have a need, well, yeah, let's go have a conversation and get prepared for that interview that you need wardrobe for, right? And so it's strategic in that way, and they do a great job in the Student Success Center in our Palumbo building, preparing those students for those experiences. So it could be something that specific, right?
Yeah. How about again, folks, we almost made the national championship back in '87. People have been waiting now for 39 years. That's kind of a nice little number if you wanted to give towards athletics, for example.
Absolutely.
3,900. Come on, put it in.
Right. 3,900. That's right. Yeah. No, I mean,
Sure.
It goes back to everybody who wants to participate in this day. So again, it's about participation, engagement in the day, and directing yourself according to your interests, your values. So people, and it makes total sense. Like, let's keep celebrating this championship caliber athletics program. Yeah. You can direct your dollars to support basketball, men's and women's basketball. What that enables us to do is continue to have a competitive operation, continue to provide scholarships for student athletes, right? And so people can focus their gifts in that way. Yeah.
Amazing. Let's talk about some co-curricular things there. Again, some of us came up in the Greek mode, or some of us came up in media, whether it's the Gannon Night or the WERG and so on. Those are places where you can put money in too, right?
Absolutely. We have a very strong and engaged fraternity and sorority life on campus. They've done amazing work in recent years. I was just at an event earlier this afternoon where they honored one of our fraternity brothers for his service to the community, right? So we have these great, healthy chapters right on campus. And a great thing, too, with almost all these chapters is there are scholarships established by some of the graduated brothers and sisters of these organizations to help benefit, current students. So that's another example of a very specific way somebody can engage in the day through philanthropy. If you were a Delta Sig, or you were a part of a particular Greek, or now we refer to it as fraternity and sorority life chapter, you can direct that gift toward those scholarships to help those communities come through Gannon now. So that's another real specific way to go about it. And then you mentioned, the radio, WERG. I mean, that is a timeless piece again.
Well, and it's a national national champion of its own. Basically.
That's right. And
number one college station in the nation.
That's right. So people, and we see it year after year. People want to support WERG, and it impacts so many students that are learning communication arts and getting hands-on to help drive a radio station that's right here. They get great training through that experience, and so always thankful for that support.
Absolutely. All right, we're talking to Dr. Brian Collingwood. He is the Vice President for University Advancement. We've got to take our bottom of the hour break. Back with more here. It's Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show, live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio. Also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. We're talking about Celebrate Gannon Day of Giving here. Got the goal of 1,500 donors, $500,000. The Day of Giving features a series of challenges and matching opportunities designed to maximize the impact of every gift. And we've got Dr. Brian Collingwood. He is the Vice President for University Advancement. Let's talk about some of the fun you're going to have tomorrow.
Sure.
Actually, it's tomorrow and Friday, right?
Yeah, it'll start at 8 p.m. Thursday, so tomorrow
Okay.
8 p.m. and it'll run 24 hours to 8 p.m. Friday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just across a couple nights. A lot of people, they come home from work or whatever they're doing during the day. They open up their emails, they check their phones for a text message from Gannon, right?
Right, yeah.
And it reminds them to give. So, yeah, we cut across a couple evenings just to give people an opportunity.
That's smart. That's smart. All right, so, if people get that text, okay, they want to participate, what are some of the mechanics of it all?
Yeah. Thanks for asking that because, we've worked really hard over the last few years, especially to make things more seamless for people when they donate. So we have a nice page set up that's specific just for this Day of Giving. And so they go to gannon.edu/Day of Giving. And right there, they see all these tiles lined up on the homepage that direct them to specific ways that they can give and make an impact. If they don't see what they want on that page, they can go to a pick list, just a drop-down list, and they can select a bunch of other ones. And if for some reason what they want to do isn't there, there's a comment box. They can type in what they want to do. So, and Joel, there's different ways too that they can set up gifts, and this isn't always known. So I do want to pause and just share this. I mean, you can process a credit card. You can send us a check to Gannon University. You can do those traditional things, but there's also digital wallet options. What we've seen over the last couple of years, more and more donors want to give through a digital wallet. So they want to use Venmo. They want to use Apple Pay, something like that. We're also seeing more asset-based giving, so they can pay through a donor-advised fund, and there's a button for that, and that walks you through how to do it that way. So it's not just credit card, it's not just check. We're trying to make it more seamless for the donor, and it's all right on that page.
The something I've learned through our Erie Gives experience is that there are required minimum what do they call it, Brian?
Yeah.
Required minimum contributions that when you reach 72 and a half, which we've got a lot of alums that are at that age.
Yeah.
They could maybe give out of their retirement funds.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I was referring to there is a minimum contribution on the website, so I'll highlight that.
Yeah.
That's no matter what the gift is or how the vehicle in which you're paying. It's a $5 minimum just
Gotcha.
on the website.
Sure.
But I think what we're referring to is the qualified charitable distribution.
Okay, there we
and
go.
So that's something like if somebody is at that 70 and a half mark and it makes sense for their financial situation to start making an annual charitable contribution or maybe more than one, you can direct that right to Gannon. Gannon is a nonprofit. It's a registered nonprofit. We're able to accept that gift. That's been a big way that a lot of donors have been going because through, I mentioned donor advised funds, that's been a big vehicle to give. That qualified charitable distribution has been a big way as well. Those are two very, very popular routes.
But and again, I guess there's tax advantages
Absolutely.
for a retiree to use that,
Absolutely.
right?
Another one too, and this is just I know you do kind of stock reports and things too. I mean, we've seen a lot of people increase their gifts of appreciated stock, because it makes tax sense for them. So, want to clarify, you want to consult your financial advisor, right, to see what's best for you. But just know that on this site and moving forward, even past Day of Giving, you can make gifts through stock. You can make gifts through even crypto. You can make gifts through qualified charitable distributions through
Right.
your DAF.
Yeah.
So again, trying to be seamless.
Yeah, I think from your release, I think it's really important to share that every gift, no matter the size, directly impacts our students by opening doors to opportunity, enhancing their experiences, and helping them achieve their goals. The collective generosity of the Gannon family truly transforms lives. That collective piece, that idea that you're part of something greater than yourself, whether you're an alum or a parent or just concerned citizen that, we want Gannon to thrive. We want our students to thrive because we would love those students to all stay here and help Erie's renaissance.
That's right. And we've seen, everything going on, and I'm sure the listeners know a lot of things going on downtown Erie.
Yeah.
Gannon's very much a part of that growth. We want to showcase to the students that may not be local originally, showcase this is a destination for them. This is a place that you can be a part of. You can be an active member of the community after you graduate, even before you graduate, right?
Yeah.
This is a place you can raise a family, you can start up a business, right? And so because we've been alongside all the partners downtown in this area as a true community member, it's great to see that reciprocity where we have community members. We have people in the community here that may not have gone to Gannon, but they're Gannon friends. They support us on Day of Giving, right? And that's been something that we've seen year over year as well, that increase in community and friend support, which it just shows us that, something's going right, collectively across all of us and what we're doing down here.
All right. So starting 8 o'clock tomorrow night, is there going to be like a button at gannon.edu, just super easy? Yeah.
Super easy. If you go to gannon.edu, you will see a pop-up that directs you right to Day of Giving. You go right to the page. You pick what you want to do. If for some reason, you don't know exactly what you want to do, you can call anybody at the university, and we will help you. We make it nice and easy. Everybody knows this is happening, so pick your favorite person or office. You just call somebody.
Let's call Dr. I. Hey, help me out here.
That's right. Yeah, Dr. I, Danielle, Kristen, anybody in that area is going to help you. So, but yeah, certainly, and my contact's on the website too. You can certainly reach out to me.
Any special events or any fun things happening at the campus center or something like that?
Yeah. So we have there's a poster presentation during the afternoon. So leading up to hopefully a celebratory evening where we hit our goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can come by the Waldron Campus Center. You can be directed to the poster presentation if you want to see the student research. We actually too it's a great tradition. It's my favorite event at Gannon. We have our scholarship dinner, and we align that with our Celebrate Gannon Day of Giving as well, because we have about 90 individuals who have participated in creating scholarships that are going to be here for dinner that really honors and thanks them for their dedication to Gannon and our students. But then we have students that are invited to sit with them so that the donors and the students can get to know each other better. The donor can see the impact right in front of them in terms of the person or people that they're supporting. We hear a donor story, like a reason why somebody set up a gift, and we hear from a couple students as to how the scholarships they've received have impacted them and enabled them to flourish at Gannon as students. So it's my favorite event. I know some of my advancement colleagues share in that, and so that's a really great event that I think is so appropriate to have on this day.
All righty. So do you have any kind of a thermometer? How do we know how things are going? Well, can you call us on Friday to check in or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'd be happy to. Yeah. And a great thing about this page I keep referencing, this gannon.edu/Day of Giving, you can see our progress right at the top. So you'll see our progress toward the overall financial goal. You'll see our number of donors toward our donor count goal. And then what's cool too is you'll see all the challenges that are up there. So for example, I'm working with an alum who set up a scholarship challenge that really reach out to folks that have benefited from his family's scholarship over the years, asking them to kick in a little bit to help the next generation and bolster that scholarship. You're going to see those challenges monitored right on that home screen. And so you can see how we're doing in a lot of different ways in helping students.
That's amazing. Again, it's the Celebrate Gannon Day of Giving happening starting tomorrow night at 8 o'clock through Friday at 8 o'clock. 24-hour fundraising, inspiring the Gannon community to come together in support of student success and expand access to a transformative Gannon education. And again, everybody's got a story. I think about Shani and I, and we're both alums. And our stories are similar but different, but you can't overstate the impact that this experience at university, whether it's a 4-year undergrad degree or master's or I think about those folks that are raising their young families and they're grinding through that graduate degree because their field needs it, right? I mean, I mean, maybe their physical therapy. Think about some of the stuff in the health fields. You need advanced degrees.
Sure.
Oftentimes, you're doing that not as like a young single person, but as an older, and just the impact that makes on the trajectory of that family's life.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, and we see that more and more, Joel. I mean, as people are approaching college these days and they're making tough choices on where to go, I know that and a lot of people are finding out too that are looking at colleges and universities, they go to Gannon, there's a path for them. There's a path for them. We are making sure that we're updating our curriculum so that we're providing more pathways for degrees, for advanced degrees. We have 4+1 programs, to help people kind of get through those clinical routes a little quicker. Yeah. There's a lot of things we can do to help a student, no matter what place in life they are. And I'm glad we're talking about it because it's not always associated with a university that was founded on a 4-year experience. But that's an area that we intend to keep growing in too. I mean, so we have opportunities now. But most importantly, those opportunities and those people that you're mentioning and we're speaking about, they need a little help, right? They need a little help. They need that scholarship support. Right. And so one of the things that I know we're going to knock out of the park is our ability to raise scholarship dollars on this Celebrate Gannon Day of Giving. It's always a great way to make an immediate impact. So there's name scholarships you can contribute toward. Like I mentioned, we have an alum that's offering a challenge for health science students. But then we also have our Gannon Fund annual scholarships. That makes an immediate impact and helps get money into students' hands to pay for all their bills and to have a good experience like right away. And so you can make an immediate impact on students' lives if you give toward those.
Fantastic. Did we cover it all, you think?
I think so. Yeah, this has been great. I mean, I'm kind of paid to talk. I can talk for hours.
Well, no, I'm trying to come up with like little nuggets, like especially for those that maybe they've never participated before.
Absolutely.
They need a number. And so, like, I'm going back to basketball. What was the record of the men's team?
I know they only lost 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, but incredible. It was like 39-3 or something.
36-3.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah,
I'm hung up on $39.
Yeah,
or
there you go.
390 or 3,900.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the important message is give what you can.
Yes,
give what you can. I mean, last year we had a lot of success. Like no matter what age the alum was or whatever, if they weren't used to giving, we were asking, hey, can you get as many $100 gifts in as possible? And we saw alum of all ages and backgrounds giving us $100 or more.
That's awesome,
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, encourage that. But I want to make sure people don't feel isolated. And if that's too much for you, go with 39, go with $20.26, whatever makes sense.
Yeah, right, 26.20, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
that's
I mean,
hilarious.
but just the important thing is that you engage in this day and showcase your pride and help us celebrate what Gannon is today and tomorrow.
Well, I think you got to think back. I mean, for alums especially, you think back to that moment at 18 years old, let's say, and again, this is getting really personal, but you're going through orientation, right? The world is ahead of you, but you're this kid that doesn't really know much of anything, but you're just so excited at the opportunities that are going to come from this education. And you have no idea what's ahead of you, and it's that kind of person, whether they're from the city, maybe they went to Erie High and they're on a Archbishop Gannon scholarship. Think about the generosity that comes from that part of Gannon's story, right? Or you're a kid in the rural diocese from St. Mary's. I can't tell you how many kids I met from St. Mary's and Tityute and places in the rural area where all they wanted to do as a kid, they went to Catholic high school, maybe Elk County Christian or Venango Central or whatever. Sure. And I just want to go to Gannon.
That's right.
I want to go to Gannon. Yeah. And you think about what folks around here can do to help that person succeed. It's pretty powerful stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the more people that engage, the more we can do, right, through this one day. So,
again,
yeah.
Gannon.edu. The button's going to be there, big and fat. Click on it and give us as much as you can.
That's right. Yep.
Thank you so much. Dr. Brian Collingwood, the Vice President for University Advancement, Gannon.edu. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You got it. All righty. It is 10 in front of 5 o'clock.